this morning, September, 21st, 2021. We have a quorum. Mr. Commissioner Adam is here, myself. Got a notice from Mr. Commissioner Mayorboy that he's will not be present due to family matters, so he won't be in attendance at this time. So we'll go ahead and go with the agenda. Call the meeting order, roll call. I finished that. We have anyone for opening prayer? You may go ahead and do so if you're ready. Mr. Adams, thank you.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before Thee as county commissioners and staff and public today for our county commission meeting. We ask Thee for a blessing on this meeting, that we will be civil and kind to each other. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to serve as commissioners. We ask Thee to bless our employees and our staff who are in harm's way, that they might be protected. We're grateful for this great nation we live in. We ask You to bless our president and our Congress, that they will be judicious in administering the things that they are responsible for. Be with our military, our policemen who serve and protect us. We ask You to be with our county residents, that they will have the needs that they have met and that they will be able to meet their obligations. We're grateful for this wonderful weather, and we're grateful for the moisture that's come in the past 3 months. We ask You to continue to bless us with moisture, that we will be able to sustain ourselves. We're grateful for all the wonderful blessings we have in this part of our great state. And we pray for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Adams. I'll go ahead and go to the next item, which is agenda.
Okay.
We have, Mr. McDonald, can you read the agenda, proposed agenda?
Absolutely. So on the consent agenda items, you have the approval of the commission work session and commission meeting minutes for September 7th. You've got the approval of special commission meeting minutes for September 10th, and approval of the check registers for August 14th through September 16th. Got consideration and approval of materials testing on road CR 373 in West Summit. Consideration and approval of state Homeland Security grant for Region 7. This between San Juan and Grand. And then you've got item number 6. You've got consideration and approval of small purchase orders for the purchase of conference chairs for a total of $1,633.18, and for a smart TV, and then $1,196.99 for Monticello co-working space. So that takes care of your consent agenda items. Under recognition and presentation item, you've got a thank you to the State of Utah Public Safety, San Juan County Sheriff Department, and the Navajo Nation's Public Safety. And that's for the manhunt that took place last week. Item number 8, consideration and approval of a resolution approving the hiring of Dr. Grant Sunda as the San Juan County Public Health Director and Local Health Officer. Item number 9, under business action, consideration and approval of a resolution of appointment of a San Juan County representative and an alternate representative for the Utah County Indemnity Pool's annual membership meeting. Item number 10, consideration and approval of funds for paving County Road 175, Kens Lake to the Fire Center. And that'll be given by our road superintendent, TJ Adair. Item number 11, consideration and approval of memorandum of understanding with the Utah Office of Tourism. This will be presented by Elaine, our Director of Economic Development and Visitor Services, as well as item number 12, which is consideration and approval of a letter of support for a San Juan County Indoor Event Center grant application. Item number 13 is consideration and adoption of an ordinance establishing San Juan County credit cell phone use and stipend policy. And then item 14, consideration and approval of a resolution supporting the passage of the Frank Harrison, Elizabeth Peretrovich, and Miguel Trujillo Native American Voting Rights Act of 2021. That was originally going to be presented by Commissioner Maryboy, so I'll follow up with that. And then under Board of Equalization, so I need you to make a motion to enter into and as the Board of Equalization for the consideration and approval of reevaluated primary resident values. And this will be presented by Rick Meyer, our county assessor. And then after that, your commission reports. That, Commissioners, is your meeting for today.
Motion. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. If there's no second, I'll second it.
I'll second it if you want me to.
Within that, how do we handle that? I want to insert the last month's adoption of the resolution requesting Navajo Nation announce San Juan County Sheriff's Office to assist. I wanted to recall that. Where would I put it?
We would-
to amend that.
We would have to put that on the next commission meeting. And so you want us to rehear that resolution?
Yeah.
I thought we
For
had a
amendment.
special meeting to do that.
We
already.
did. February 10th was the meeting. And so, or September 10th, sorry. So in the last Friday, we adopted that resolution. If you want to change the language in it, just let me know. We would put it on the next commission meeting so that it's properly noticed.
The what I wanted to do was add the recommendation that was made from Navajo Mountain chapter officials.
Okay. As the language?
Yes.
Okay, to change that, we would just bring that back on the next commission meeting with those changes. And then you would just rescind the one that you approved and then adopt the new one.
I thought the item was already introduced.
Mm-hmm.
So all that need is recall to bring it back to the floor and amend it.
No, we would have to public notice each time. Each time for any agenda item, we have to properly public notice it. And so we could put that on the next commission meeting and reconsider that language. I can work on the draft in between. It's in 2 weeks. So October 2nd, 4th is the next meeting. We just bring it back on that agenda.
Okay. If that's the case, I'll just go ahead and withdraw
Okay.
and just second the main motion. The other items, what Mr. Sandberg presented, that's not going to be in this
No, it'll be on the next commission meeting. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, go ahead and call for the question.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion passed, 2 in favor, 0 opposed. So with that, we adopted the agenda. Going down to public comment, Mr. Nadang.
Okay, just as a reminder, public comments, we will accept those 3 minutes apiece on your public comments. Just make sure that you're kind and courteous during those public comments. Typically, we offer it here if you're live first, and then online will go second. If you're wishing to make a public comment, please sign in. There's a sign-in sheet there at the desk. That'll make it easier for us as we announce who's giving public comment. And then a final note, I forgot where I was at in my speech, typical speech. If you're online, just know that if you do pass your 3 minutes, we will mute you. Online, if you're wishing to make a public comment, do raise your hand. There's a hand raising option. If you right click on your name, that'll allow you to raise your hand so that we can recognize you. And then if not, if you don't have that capability or capacity, then we will ask for those that are unmuted to go ahead and unmute, and then we'll take you from there. With that being said, when we introduce you and call you, just state where you're at within the county and your name as well for the record. So let me grab this sheet real fast. So the first one that we have on here is Tara Benally.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tara Benally, and I am from the southern part of San Juan County, Utah. I have a number of things that I want to bring to your attention. The first one being the transfer station. Again, I made a comment on this at the last commission meeting, and Mac, I know you did a follow-up email with me regarding that meeting that you had with the commissioners, but I think the public right now would like to know where and when, or if there's going to be another transfer station put. A land has been identified for it, and if there's going to be another transfer station there. Those will be the questions regarding the transfer station, and we would definitely like to have a transfer station down in that southern part of the county again, because it's so much more convenient for a lot of our families, especially our elders. A lot of us have left home, went to work, or gone to school, and so a lot of times they're the only ones that are home by themselves, and so they don't have the someone there to help them to load up the trash and then unload at the site. Whether that's bringing it here below White Mesa or a transfer station even down at home. So just regarding the transfer station, that's one of the services that we feel like is very important here for us down in Southern County. The other three things that I would like to see happen down in Southern San Juan County is maybe a driver's license office brought down to either Bluff or maybe even finding a location down in Monument Valley. That way people residing in Navajo Mountain don't have to drive to 3 hours to renew their driver's license and stuff. I know that's possible through now that we've had broadband and stuff that are being installed and stuff. Department of Motor Vehicle would be another consideration to bring that service down to the southern part of San Juan County as well. So those are two of the main services that I feel like the commissioner should consider. Another thing is the county commissioner meetings. We would like to see those rotated again. I know you guys have agreed to have the Zoom meeting stuff because of COVID here and has scheduled them here in Monticello. But maybe going forward, that might be a consideration for you to rotate those meetings, even if it means just going down as far as Montezuma Creek to the public, the professional building, maybe in Bluff at the community center, or Monument Valley at the Welcome Center. I think a lot of people would really like to sit in on a lot of these commissioners' meetings. I know when you guys did it down in Monument Valley, a lot of our community members were happy with that. Another thing, again, that I addressed last time during the commission meeting was an interpreter. We would still like to see that happen as well, and would encourage the commissioners to see if they can identify an individual who is a certified Navajo interpreter to help with those interpretation when we start to move the commissioner meetings around. And even on Zoom, we have folks at home that sit in on Zoom and listen to what's happening at the commissioner meeting. And so a lot of the time, our elders would like to have a say in a lot of these matters as well, and but they don't know what's being said, or they don't speak and understand the English language very well, and so we would like to see that maybe get an interpreter for those meetings.
Okay, that's time
Another
right
thing,
there.
that's it.
See ya.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
Tara.
Hmm.
Okay, the next one on here, got Phil Rents. Hey, Phil.
Good morning, Mr. Adams, Gray Eye, and McDonald's, and guys here. Well, I'm supportive of what Tara said. I just want to support her with the transfer station. Maybe, well, I'm originally from Hatch area, Hatch Trading Post. Down below, when you go to Hatch and go down south, and you cross that bridge and you look to the east side there's people been hauling trash there, dumping there, burning them. Down, it's working its way down to the wash, down to the Montezuma Wash. So we're real concerned about that. Maybe we can put up some no dumping signs there or something like that. Well, it looks bad, you know. We've got a lot of tourists going through there every day, and that store is going to be reopened pretty soon. So we need to clean that up, or that's why we really need a transfer station in our area too. And what Tara was saying, that Department of Motor Vehicle too is in the office. Maybe you can temporary or just permanent office down at Bluff. We really need one. And when we come up here to get our plates or our stickers, you know, we will usually forget some documents or papers, and we had to travel back and come back up here. Then, and that way we can just go a little ways and get our driver's license or our plates. So a lot of times we take a chance getting on the 191 there, and we'll always get stuck because of our tinted windows, our white tires, or you know. So I had to take a chance coming up here. So there's a lot of problems with that. And in a commissioner meeting, I know you guys been doing that before. Like Tara said, you know, we need to bring it back to closer to our community, like down at Montezuma Creek or Red Mesa, Mexican Water down so Monterey Valley or somewhere, so closer to people that people can attend that. And so I'm supportive of what Tara brought up. So that's all I had to comment. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else here?
Chester.
Chester. Okay. Chester, please come up and state your name and where you reside in the county.
Yes, my name is Chester Johnson. I'm from Mudcracker Mesa. I'd like to make a comment. The resolution that you mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, I know it's probably geared towards formulating an agreement for trust advertising the police from the county to patrol in the area. And looking at it, how we should structure the agreement, I'm beginning to think that the Bureau of Investigation people, FBI, should be a party to agreement. Because when you look at the crime that's being committed in the area against the people, 9 of those committed by the criminal against the people are listed under Major Crime Act, like homicide, murder, rape. So to me, that's by federal statute, FBI and the United States Justice Department are responsible to investigate those cases. And this is the type of crimes being committed, and therefore I think they ought to be a party to the agreement. Also, they have the resources and they have the intelligence how to make the report so they will stick in the court for prosecuting who's committing these crimes. Also, I feel that making them a party to the agreement also will strengthen their involvement in terms of communication and networking, as well as being a leadership in the case they can handle. That's a comment I'm going to make. Thank you.
Thanks, Chester. Okay, anybody else in here? There's no one else. Let's go to online.
Hello.
I've got, looks like
Oh.
Marlene Huckabee. Marlene, I see your hand up. Go ahead, Marlene. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Did you say to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Marlene Huckabee on Sunny Acres Lane, San Juan County. I want to talk about the Manti-La Salle Forest Plan revision and the importance to me and to many others to protect the cultural sites from vandalism, which I know is difficult, and also even the sites that have the early pioneers that rode on rocks and left their mark. We need to protect those things. That's part of our history, your history. Managing the increase in number of visitors, because as Moab gets more popular, people are going to start coming to San Juan because it'll be less crowded. With the climate change and the effects of the drought and then the flooding from the recent fire in Pat Creek, we need to protect that, protect the watershed, the native plants, and the wildlife habitat. We also need to manage the grazing to protect the native vegetation. So I hope that you'll look at all these and consider them, and hopefully we can get some of this resolved. So thank you very much. Thank you for all your work. That's it.
Okay. Thanks, Marlene. The next one I've got on here is Darlene Pino. Darlene.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, Darlene.
I just a couple of things. This multi-purpose arena, the letters that had been written out, these are from page 83, 82 on to 83, I believe. Where is this going to be located? The multi-purpose arena. I know that there's some several letters.
The fairground.
Okay, I hear some chuckling in the background.
Multi-purpose.
And Mr. Gray, thank you for trying to, an attempt to try and revise. Hopefully, it will get revised. An opportunity to get revised, which is sure. أنك أشبه هالشنودي ولقانا بالزادة يا هاشين تسوق هذا هاشي سابق إنها صهم زيان تكيس نكيد كمشر نلينيكي Greya, Mr. Greya is here بدون خاف نخاف نخنا خاص أنك أشيل تكيوتي خجول نخاف تدورني ميتين أشهدن ديني دوري Mary boys no home that meet خالته نكيلهم كذا بيجي تكيكي نخاف باهم والسندوبي قلت يا هشام تقول كاجي دي أنا خاطي interpret كان خاط خاطر لنا نك إيش خاطر دورنا هيك إن خبرنا هو أهون خاله بالقانا بالزادي أبينا يزوه يان ذكر سوف تقول نيجي يالتي
The interpreter. The one Tara mentioned. She expounded on the Navajo in Navajo. Appreciate the subject come up.
Okay, the next one, if that was the end of yours, let me stop this timer before it goes off. Okay, the next one we have on here is Monet.
Oh, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Manette Clark, and I live in Spanish Valley. As always, I want to thank each of you for your dedication and service to San Juan County. I really appreciate all the time it takes for your service. In your work meeting earlier today, you discussed the revised Manti-LaSalle Forest Management Plan and a letter of support that you are considering sending to the Forest Service. So I just want to ask the Commission to please stress in your letter that San Juan County wants the revised plan to prioritize consideration for long-term drought, hotter temperatures, and the potential for wildfires. Front and center in the revised plan should be minimizing long-term damage to soils and watersheds from fire. Reseeding burned and overgrazed areas with native and drought-tolerant seeds is a start. Reducing livestock numbers and/or removing domestic livestock from sensitive areas would help sustain drought-stressed vegetation and provide more sustenance for wildlife. I think that funding is also an issue that the Forest Service should build into their long-term plan, that if other funds aren't available in the event of a wildfire, that the Forest Service will have funds to work on smaller acreage burns like the Cat Creek burn. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you. The next one on here, Marilyn Hawley. Go ahead, Marilyn. It shows on here that you're having some connection issues. If you turn your video off, it may help with your voice on your audio. Are you there, Marilyn? It shows that you're unmuted, but that you don't have audio. Meanwhile, is there anyone else that's online who would like to make a public comment? Go ahead and unmute yourself and we'll go to you while Marilyn is working on hers.
I don't know if online is considered a call-in, but this is Meredith Benally, if you can hear me.
Yes, go ahead, Meredith.
I'd like to say good morning to the commissioners, the staff, and the public. My comment is towards the revision of the Manti-LaSalle National Forest Land and Resource Management Plan. In reading this letter, I don't see any mention of addressing consideration of protecting wildlife habitats during climate crisis, its impact on soil, native vegetation, and cultural resources. With these effects, it doesn't give current suggestion or open to addressing better management. Also of livestock currently grazing in those areas. There are many other areas not many other of employees that are not included in the revision. That's my comment on
Hey, Meredith.
National Forest. Yes.
You were breaking up really bad right there. So go ahead and just be aware that you're breaking up quite a bit.
Is it better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But in conclusion, it was just that I want that the address of all the mentioned above in the revision plan for awareness of the impact climate crisis is having on soil, native vegetation, and cultural resources. And then also, I believe there was a mention of roads that were going to be put into place so that cultural sites being visited have a wider space of parking and those things. And even those are not being considered, or there's no comments from everyone. It seems like it's just limited and exclusive, and it needs to be inclusive to everybody's comments. So I'd like to mention that too. And I also support what Mr. Rentz and Tara had said about the transfer station. I would like a follow-up to see what's going on with that. And then also mentioning the voting polls within San Juan County, and Navajos that come to vote need to have better access to that, not only from people that are able to get to voting polls, but elders and people that don't have vehicles and are subject to those types of issues when they want to vote but are unable to because of those things. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Marilyn, are you there? Did you get it worked out? Maybe not. You got a big echo. Okay, skipping Marilyn. Is there anybody else that's online?
Matt, can you hear me?
I can, but there's a huge
Matt, can you
echo.
hear me?
Yeah.
Matt,
Okay, where's the mouse at?
Matt, can you hear me?
We cannot. Oh. Okay. She is now in the waiting room, waiting in there. Anyone else online or on the phone that would like to make a public comment? Okay, Commissioner's not hearing any or seeing any, other than Marilyn, who tried. Turn it back to you.
Okay. Going down on the agenda, we're at the consent agenda. We have 6 items. Included on the consent agenda. Motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I second. Question? CR 373. Where is that located?
West Summit.
So it's the West Summit Road. In your packet, there's also a map of that. It's just to it would be the east of Monticello, just past the port of entry. So there, heading to Colorado, heading to
Going
Cortez.
towards Cortez.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And before, what's that thing called?
Before the state line, before Ucolo.
So I'll show you on here.
Just past the Eastland turnoff. Goes back to
Mine
the
out.
north.
So right here, if you look at here on your screen, there's the map of Monticello. You're heading down the highway towards Cortez. You can see right here, we've got it highlighted out by Paiute Knoll.
Okay.
Shortcut road gets
All
you
of
to
that is gonna
Lisbon
be,
Valley.
Material testing. Is that for aggregate or?
We did 8 miles of work out there this summer to rebuild that road using the,
That
what do you call it?
Concrete additive.
Cement base. We did 8 miles of it.
To make sure that it's the strength that we want. We're in the middle of chipping that project right now. That's what it is, just the testing of that product.
Okay. Homeland Security.
On that grant.
Can you expound on it?
This is a grant that the county is given every year, and it buys things like radios and equipment that's needed for sheriff's office, law enforcement, fire, EMS.
Oh, okay. They will be stored in the hangar.
We have a building to store it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Somebody's going to be watching television.
Yes.
Is that a monitor or?
So it will be for the co-working space downstairs under the library. There will be a big monitor for conferences similar to these.
Yeah.
So if you have a conference meeting in there and you rent the space, you'll be able to, instead of having projectors anymore, everyone's just doing the big screen TVs. So they'll be able to show their PowerPoint slides, things like that on the television. So that's what that's for, is that co-working space. Similar with the other amount on there. There's a couple items that we left off of that we're still working on, would be the access system to that building. So she's got conference chairs on here, but there will be desks, tables, things like that we'll also need to purchase for that working space. And that co-working space is almost finalizing its construction. They're doing the finish work right now. And then we'll have kind of an open house, get everybody in there to take a look at that new space. And that was all of this is covered through grant funding that you've approved previously. Just making sure we have the purchases according to our purchasing policy.
All right. Any further question? If none, call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. Motion passed. 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Thank you. Going down to recognition, presentation of items.
Okay, on here, we just wanted to publicly thank our sheriff and the state of Utah Public Safety. They provided the aerial support for our sheriff's department and the Navajo Nation Public Safety in their assistance, everything that they've done here for the last 2 weeks on the manhunt that started
Shanto.
Shanto all the way down to Mexican Hat. So quite the distance. A lot of legwork, dispatch, and just foot pursuit where people had to go in there and put their tracking hat on, kind of risk everything for that manhunt, life and limb. You never know what you're getting into or what they can find, or what type of condition the individuals are in. And so we just did want to publicly thank them. We'll also follow up with a letter for this as well.
Yeah. It's like tracking the mountain lion.
Oh, he was
You know
armed.
what you're getting into.
Okay. Yeah, Alex had just mentioned that the individual was armed during that, and so imagine the heightened risk and
Yeah.
that those sheriffs are put into and faced with, and they go out and participate, and the fact that it started in Arizona and kind of pursued into Utah. A lot of people had helped out in that, so we just wanted to publicly offer our thanks for that and for their services.
Okay.
Yeah. Alex has more details.
I'm trying not to give you too many details because it's sitting in the file. Navajo PD helped as well, so make sure.
Okay.
Two things the sheriff make sure.
Okay, I have Navajo Public Safety, Navajo Nation Public Safety on here with that, and so. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, is it? We need to vote on it.
No, just allow me to send out an official thank you for that.
From the
For
commission.
from the commission on the commission's
Right.
behalf, and then stamp it, use your stamp on there. And so
Yes.
just make a motion authorizing the county administrator to send that letter of thanks.
So moved.
Okay. Motion made. Second. I second. Vote. All in favor?
Aye.
I also. Dave? Anybody? None. Motion passed, 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Kieta Service Unit is the one that did the on foot tracking. So they should be notified.
Anti-service unit?
Yeah, Kieta
Okay, into
Public Safety.
okay. I'll add them. And I didn't know if the FBI was involved with this either. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to mention that also to Mr. Johnson, that the FBI were involved in this one. So
Okay.
in the negotiation, we need to identify who would be participating.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow up with
So I
Alex and the
talked to,
sheriff on those.
Sheriff, and he's interested in, and I said, yeah.
Okay.
You almost pointed a gun at me, enabled me to say yes.
Okay. All right, we'll do.
Next is business action item
Okay, let me get caught up.
number 8.
Okay, item number 8 is, let me check and see what we have online. So I've got a resolution approving the hiring of Dr. Grant Nada as the San Juan County Public Health Director and Local Health Officer. Through this process, so we actually had our former Public Health Director resign the position back in December 2020. You have a year to find another director. We didn't want to take a year, obviously. But we began that process as we were kind of doing our due diligence, looking at the possibility of combining public health with substance abuse and mental health. But during that time, we held interviews, reached out to the Public Health Board. They were an integral part of the interview process. Did a second round of interviews as we narrowed the field with several commissioners, and then took it back to the Public Health Board, who had recommended in their last meeting that we hire Dr. Sonata for the position. Both Dr. Sonata and I have negotiated a fair and equitable pay salary for him, and terms that were also negotiated in that offer. And so today you have that recommendation before you for finalization and approval of his hiring. We're excited to have him on board. I was looking to see if he's online here. I don't know if one of those phone numbers are his, but I'm not seeing anybody unmute. But that is what you have before you today, Commissioners.
Is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion to pass the resolution recommending the hire of Dr. Grant Sonata with the terms that have been presented.
I second. Any question, comments? He's well qualified.
Super.
Or overqualified. Super qualified.
Super qualified. He is.
But he came down to negotiate his compensation. So
he's been down here multiple times.
Commendable.
Yep. Yeah. We're excited.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. There being none, motion passed 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Next.
Okay, the next one is consideration and approval of a resolution of appointment of a San Juan County representative and an alternate representative for the Utah County's Indemnity Pool annual membership meeting last year. So typically, because Commissioner Adams is already on the board, we nominate him as one of those. He'll already be there. He'll already be at the meeting. It's easier just to wear that hat as you go there. And then the alternate last year was Commissioner Gray Eyes. You were the alternate. They're seeking an additional 2 this year.
Renewal.
Both of you are signed up and ready to go for UAC. This meeting is held on that first day, I believe, of UAC conference. So both of you are already going. So it makes sense just to continue both of you in those same positions that you were last year.
Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, motion.
I make a motion to appoint the same representatives as we have in the past.
I second. So with that, any question, comments? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. There be none. Motion passed 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Is that going to be in St. George?
St. George.
Yeah, St. George.
Yeah.
Yep.
What day?
You're registered.
You're registered. And so
I'll tell you.
It's November.
The 9th, November 9th to 9th through the 12th.
Okay. November?
Yes.
November.
Okay. Next, consideration and approval of funds for paving CR 170 5 Kinslake to the fire center. T.J. Adair, Road Superintendent. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. This got brought to our attention when we had the Pat Creek fire. That road gets used an awful lot with heavy equipment, and it's paved all but 0.3 of a mile. And so we've been working with the BLM and the fire center on a joint partnership to pave that 0.3 of a mile. And so this is our contribution to that project that we want to do in October.
Okay. Need a motion?
Make a motion.
Authorizing.
We approve the pavement of CR 175 Ken Lake Road to the fire center.
Okay, second. Any further question? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
TJ, can you give us a real quick update on West Summit?
Yeah, we will finish the first layer of chip today, the 3/4 inch. So we've done all the milling, all the cement base has been put in. It's meeting all the specs that it's designed to meet.
This is for the whole 8 miles.
For the 8 miles.
And that's starting at 191 going north for 8 miles. That's half
the road.
West Summit Road.
So we will finish the 3/4 chip today, and then on Monday we will start with the 1/2 inch chip, and by Wednesday and next week we should be done with it. So we'll have public back on that road tentatively by the end of next week.
By next week, wow.
So
that seems like that went pretty fast once you got started.
It did. The crew, they worked basically 5-6 days a week. The last week to finish early, we actually worked till on Saturday to finish to get them out. So we pushed our schedule up a couple of days. So it's been really good. We did get rained out 2 days, and that's kind of why we worked long on another week. But
I was trying to find out also who graded the road 6310.
is that the one that you asked me about, Mac?
Yes,
That
was
was
one up on Navajo
across
Mountain.
the canyon.
Okay, yeah, that would have been NDOT that should have bladed
NDOT?
that. We only have a little over a mile and a half down in that area that we actually take care of.
Yeah.
So
There was a lot of debris on the
Yeah.
road.
yeah, we got a complaint about it. Well, a notification about it, and we reached out. There's some in Monument Valley and some down there that we visited with. Is it Hank that's the
Hey,
chapter president down there?
no,
No, Hank's in Tisnospas.
Hay is Navajo Mountain.
Special Service District, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he's not chapter president.
Okay. Anyway, he was the one that relayed the information, and so we've sent numerous emails to the BA and NDOT on different issues, and so
Yeah,
it was one of them agencies that went and did that road.
we're waiting on an operator to be certified. So when we do, we'll.
And we've got, and just so you know, we've got Wheeler Machinery. Their trainer is willing to come down and train an operator. I visited with him last week, and so if we need to help in training, he'll be down with the new blades that we have to kind of give an update on training our guys, and so we can do a joint thing where we send him and help train if they get an operator down there.
Send me the details.
Okay.
Yeah. Appreciate it. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Or did we already vote? Yeah, we did. 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Perfect.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you. Levin?
Okay, the next one is consideration and approval of a memorandum of understanding with the Utah Office of Tourism. Elaine's been out at a conference. Are you online, Elaine?
I am. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we're at Allison and I are at the international conference, and it's the first time in 2 years that the international representatives have been able to come. It's a smaller show, but it's really welcome. And I don't know if you've all heard, but as of November 1st, international visitors that are vaccinated will be able to travel to the United States. So everybody is extremely excited. And I know that some of the reps here representing France, Germany, they said that the people are booking online because they're anxious to travel. So that's exciting news. So what this is our memorandum of understanding with the Utah Office of Tourism. We were awarded $209,550 that we will match out of the budget, the visitor services budget, and UOT will provide us with 50% upfront of the funds when this letter is signed, and we will bill them, invoice them, and they'll forward us the check, and then the balance of the funds we will receive from UOT when we invoice them at the completion of our project. So this is a wonderful opportunity that the state has afforded to counties and to different groups that request funding to help stretch budgets where you don't have the all the funding that you could use. And I think it's a great program. I sat, I should say, on the Utah Office of Tourism board for 4 years. Now that I'm moving to San Juan County, I'm not going to be on the board any longer. But I've had a chance over the 4 years to review all of the applicants and the applications, and it's really done really incredible work to support counties and organizations around the state.
Okay. Mr. Adams?
Elaine, will this money help backfill what you may have lost in TRT or TRCC?
I haven't looked at the budget that thoroughly, but I definitely think, yes, it will. It will really help to stretch our funds. We're taking a real conservative, or at least I'm taking a very conservative approach as we start to move forward. And I'm going to be working with Allison to scrutinize everything in the budget. We're holding off on any commitments right now so we can see what the TRT will look like. I know from my past position, the TRT dollars were really, it came in and were very high, much higher than we had anticipated due to domestic travel. So I think things will look more positive. But yes, this will help to offset anything that we lost early on in the year.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the request from our Tourism and Economic Development Director.
I second. Any further question? If there's none, call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed?
Thank you.
Nay? There's none. The motion passed. 2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Good work, Elaine. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your support.
Thank you. Next would be letter of support.
Yes, this is consideration and approval of a letter of support for the San Juan County Indoor Event Center. Again, this presentation is by Elaine. Elaine, go ahead and explain what we're trying to do.
Okay, well, when I set my sights on San Juan County, I'm trying to look for opportunities to help our county and our communities. And I really felt that since you have a fairground and an annual fair, which I think is amazing because I grew up with county fairs and I love them. I really feel that we should have a fairground and an event center that could host events all year long. So I talked to Mac, I started to do some investigation and found out that there was a study that was done in 2009 that had this event center. It did have a senior center portion to it, but of course that could be eliminated now that we have, my understanding is we have a senior center at the golf course. So I looked it over and it's really pretty much what even though it's dated, I really think if you fast forward to today, I really think it holds a lot of value because what I would love to see is an indoor multi-purpose arena and event center, and then an outside arena where we could host events that would happen all year long. So it wouldn't be just, one time a year, but we would be able to generate revenue, and that would mean, TRT tax revenue and sales tax revenue all year long because people could come in and stay in the hotels. We could have fantastic events, and our office would certainly reach out to book a lot of these events. But I talked to Cortez, offered a letter of support. Blanding city manager offered a letter of support, and I've got 2 letters of support from the 2 business owners in Bluff. And what I wanted to do before I move further, I wanted to come to the commission and request that we get a letter of support, if you agree, from the San Juan County Commissioners, because we already own the property, and based on the assessor's value, the value of the property is about $855,000 plus, and we'd have to come up with a 20% match for this grant. So if they take in consideration the current assessed value of the property, and then we would offer in-kind work if our road department could do some road work and we could find some other maintenance opportunities. We might not have to come up with cash money. So I'm going to rely on Mac to help me through this. But I really think if we could get this money from the federal government, because they're offering this outdoor recreation grant, we have such a good chance to apply for this funding, and we would be able to host Native American events, mudblog events. The high school could use it. We could have events, RV trade show events. I mean, I see people coming to San Juan County to utilize this event center all year long, thus generating revenue from January to December. So I really think it would be really be great for the county. Everyone can use the event center. We'd have a schedule. It would be very organized. And of course, we'd have to work out, all of the details. But I think if we can embark on this, and the fact that you already had a study done in 2009, I think someone was thinking about, having this come to fruition. I think it would be a really great asset for all of San Juan County, from the north all the way to the Navajo Nation. We could have powwows, we could have everything in this event center, and it would be magnificent. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Adams.
Elaine, I'm glad to hear this. We purchased that property back prior to the study being done, and I think we purchased the property for around $250,000. So some really smart commissioner must have been figuring out that this was a good thing to do a long time ago. So I'm glad to see that the property has appreciated to $800,000 already. And I support what you're doing 800,000%.
Awesome. Well, I think it would be such a benefit, and not if the commission approves the letter of support, I'm then going to reach out to other individual organizations to get letters of support, because I have to work with the Southeast Utah Association of Local Governments to help me facilitate the application, because it is quite intense. However, we will fill this out. If I can get support, from the Navajo Nation and different chapters, because I think we could showcase the culture that is so much of our area. This could be just incredible for San Juan County to have people come from all over the United States, to use this event center and host events and really bring revenue, and manage it the way we want to manage it. So if it's approved and you agree, then I will move forward to secure approval from organizations that would be in favor of it, and then we'll start the application process.
Yeah. Well, I think one event that you ought to consider moving down the road, if we get the event center, is we ought to have the annual Keyshawn White Horse bull riding event there in the center. I think he'd be more than happy to help coordinate that.
And he would, Commissioner Adams. I messaged him and he messaged me back. So if we get approval of the letter of support, I will contact him directly.
All right. Well, he's a pretty big deal in the PBR right now. So from Montezuma Creek, Utah.
Yeah.
Besides that, he knows how to play golf.
Oh, okay.
White Mesa Ute community. They have an annual bear dance also.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we need to get all of these events.
Invite them up here to the fairgrounds.
Yes, we need to get all of these events on this calendar. I mean, we have a big ask from the federal government, but I figure, hey, we can ask just like anyone else can ask for this grant. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
I'll make a motion. We approve a letter of support from the commission for the San Juan County Event Center.
Second. Any question? No questions? So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed by nay? There being none, motion carries 2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Elaine, anything that the commission can do to help you further this project, we'd be glad to help support it. We like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know there'll be a lot of steps in filling out the grant. There's quite a bit of paperwork they require. So if there is anything in addition that I need, I'll make sure that I come to you. And I'm also happy to tell you that as of Friday, I'll be a San Juan County resident official.
Well, congrats on your home.
That's the best news you've given us today.
That's awesome.
Thank you for your support. I am so grateful to all of you. You do such great work. I appreciate everything you do, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next would be 13.
Item 13 is consideration and adoption of an ordinance establishing San Juan County's cell phone use and stipend policy. Anne Marie.
Good afternoon. So this is the same thing that I presented in work session 2 weeks ago. Just standardizing the amount that the county pays for personal use of cell phones, for the use of a personal cell phone on county business. I did add that the county will own cell phones for like executive admin staff or elected officials can choose to have a county cell phone, but those cell phones are intended only for county business and usage is subject to review by the county administrator or his agent. And also that as far as a county-owned cell phone goes, they can only be upgraded or replaced at county expense once every 3 years. So if it's lost, broken, needs to be replaced prior to that 3 year, that's the responsibility of the employee or the elected official to pay for that. Other than that, it's the same $20 for occasional use, $50 for regular use on a monthly basis. Department heads and elected officials are responsible for determining the needs for each employee, but the county administrator is ultimately responsible for approving the eligible employee stipend.
That means we have to quit abusing our cell phones because we might have to pay to fix them.
You have to not throw them when you get mad.
Yeah, that's probably frowned on a little bit.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance establishing cell phone use. Is it an ordinance or just?
It's an ordinance, yes.
It's an ordinance.
Second. Any question? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed? Nay. Motion carries 2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you, TJ.
Next.
Okay, the next item 14 is consideration and approval of a resolution supporting the passage of the Frank Harrison, Elizabeth Petronovich, and Miguel Trujillo Native American Voting Rights Act of 2021. This is a Commissioner Maryboy asked to add on to the agenda. Looks like the U.S. House of Representatives have introduced House Bill 5008, which is titled the same title as this resolution, where the Native American Voting Rights Act would improve access to the ballot box by, among other provisions, creating a task force grant program to increase voter outreach and education services, ensuring tribes may specify the number and locations of requested voter registration sites, drop boxes, and polling locations on tribal lands, and ensuring authorized tribal ID cards may be used for voting purposes, that all elections, county, state, and federal, shall be fair and equally accessible for all voters throughout the nation, but more specifically in this resolution for all voters in San Juan County.
I motion.
You're going to make the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
So, I motion for adoption, and second by Mr. Adams. Any question? None. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. Motion carries 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Welcome, Mayor.
Okay, your next item on the agenda is I need you to make a motion to enter into the Board of Equalization.
I'll make a motion. We enter into Board of Equalization.
I second. Any question? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. Motion carries 2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Okay.
You're
now the Board of Equalization. Perfect. So on here you've got item 15, consideration and approval of re-evaluated primary residential values. We'll turn it over to Rick
Meyer,
our county assessor.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's been a good day.
Oh, yeah.
So I believe we had a very successful Board of Equalization this year. Didn't have a lot of attendees. We had 4 people attend in the 2 days. But we did have quite a few phone calls and people asked us to submit requests, and we have 50 plus. There's 3 more. If I can submit those today, Mac, is that possible?
It wasn't on the agenda. That item is on the agenda. Alex, what do you think? Wasn't posted. It's more content.
The three that you're adding, are they just more of the same?
They're more of the same.
Then it's been positive.
Okay.
Right. So we went to 50, and then we added 3 more that was inadvertently left off. And there is a little more explanation on a few others that worked with. Maybe reason. Who's sweating?
You're presenting, not me.
Actually, the Board of Equalization was a lot of fun, actually, for me. And probably 99% of what we did was helping the people in their the valuation of their property. So do we have any questions on any of those? 53 items.
All the recommendations made are accepted by the owners.
So, yes and no. So those who are having their property, so everybody on that list, so there'll be 53 letters that Lyman will send out to every one of those people on the Board of Equalization that we approved. They'll receive a letter, and they'll have 30 days to appeal our decision at the assessor's office. And if they do not like what we tell them, then they can appeal to the state level and go forward from there. But I believe there's probably about 10 or so of those that had their values adjusted upwards, so they may appeal. We will have to wait and see. But the majority of them we were helping the citizen adjust their values to where their taxes would actually be lower, which is a great thing.
I make a motion, we come out of Board of Equalization.
I think you have to approve it. You have to make a motion approving this first as the Board
We
of
do?
Equalization.
I thought we
Yes.
had to come out to approve it.
No, you still want to stay
It's
as
not
that body.
executive
It's not an executive, you're acting
Okay.
as the board.
I make a motion, we approve the primary resident BOE 2021 list.
Second. Any further question? Comments? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. There being none, motion passed, 2 in favor, 0 opposed.
Now you can.
Now I'll make a motion to come out of Board of Equalization.
Aye, second. Any question? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. We are now out of the equalization board meeting, back to the regular meeting.
Last thing on here is commission reports.
You have the floor, sir.
Okay. Went to USAC convention at Midway last week. It was a good meeting. I thought we were given a lot of good information at that meeting. This week I'm going to I go to AOG on Thursday and participated in a policies and practices UAC meeting yesterday by Zoom. That's all I can think of.
Thank you. Yeah, I also traveled to Midway, saw these two gentlemen up there. Midway, what do you call it? Utah County Association, or
Of commission and council members only. That's all.
CCC,
CCC.
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, had a good time. Relax.
Had some
One session, the first day, I posed a question to the crowd, what they're doing with Native Americans that are residents within their county. Not very much. They say Native Americans are sort of distancing themselves from the county government, saying that we are sovereign and we have a direct relationship with the federal government. It seems like the end, that gives them the, I don't know what you call it. To me, it's an excuse to not further their relationship, to build. Since they're also vote in the city, counties, and state and federal government. They need to be inclusive, rather than say they are separate from our government functions. So that was an interesting response. But I was thinking to see if there was anybody that would say, yeah, we are working together. But nobody is, as far as I understand. But I guess it's very hard to work with. Second day, we had Speaker Wilson.
Brad Wilson.
Yeah. And Speaker Wilson, and well, during the session they were talking about we're going to receive a lot more federal dollars through coming up, we anticipate, for infrastructure. Yeah. And it comes to mind that some of these state monies that are awarded by the federal government, it just ends at the border, doesn't flow over because of jurisdiction and sovereignty. You stay away from my side of the fence, so to speak. And I talked to Speaker Wilson and Brandy Grace, Chair of the Utah County Association, both of them at the same time, said, we're having a problem. I know the Navajo Nation is going to receive some of these fundings, and also the state will have some funding that will be dished out to the counties under the same brand. So I need to you guys to start working on something for me. Either memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement that will make this funding flow to the Navajo Nation or as a matching fund with the Navajo Nation awards to realize some of the projects that we've been working on. Otherwise, we don't have any other monies that we can invest in infrastructure, capital improvement type of project. So Brandy says, I'll take a note and start work on it, see what we can do. So Speaker Wilson says, go after it for him. So, so that's a seed I planted over there in the mountains. So hopefully it grows, bear some fruits. So that's the extent of my participation with the meeting up there.
You heard good music too, right? Somebody that sang to you.
Oh yeah, who was that lone
Good
cowboy?
Learned about the
I
Blue
was
Mountains.
going to say, yodeling-o.
I know.
But that's what I was trying to figure. When Bruce presented his story and song, and everybody stood up.
Yeah.
Man, that was a
Standing
good
ovation for
Yes.
Commissioner Adams and his singing of Blue Mountain.
And he still won't do it for us here.
Blue Mountain Horsehead.
That was pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty fun time.
It was good. Well, that's my report, and hopefully, seemed like I don't know if I was anticipating that the Navajo Nation representatives would be there also but to my observation, nobody was there. There's a Navajo Nation council that are appointed to represent the Navajo Nation to the Utah state governments and programs. But they didn't show this.
Well, the governor's office has a liaison representative with Native Americans too
Dustin.
that could have come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dustin.
Yeah, Dustin.
That meeting.
Yeah.
He didn't show. Mm-hmm. But the other one that I want again introduce is have the governor consider to have, what do you call it, Native American cabinet rather than a department.
An actual cabinet member in his cabinet.
Yes, right.
It's like, isn't that what Larry?
Larry is the
Is he with the AG's
representative. He's a liaison type of
Okay, then
individual.
it may be Dustin then that's a part of the governor's
Dustin
cabinet.
is within the fair
Division of
Indian
Indian
Affairs.
Affairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I would like to see sometime down the road work with the governor and see if we can establish a cabinet member as part of the Native American.
Okay,
Because
Commissioner.
the other state of Arizona have Indian commission.
Uh,
I think also the New Mexico does have Indian commission.
Commissioner of Indian Affairs.
Yeah.
so Commissioner Maryboy has requested a meeting with the governor. And so if we can get that meeting lined up.
I wouldn't be surprised if you'd even have more luck with Lieutenant Governor. She's been real involved in the Westwater project.
Yeah. Have you met with her yet?
I'm not on the Westwater, but on the road connection.
Yeah, she
was there.
Okay, she's
And
gonna try to set up a meeting.
I just shook her hand.
Okay.
But I had to go somewhere else, and I came back, and they both disappeared.
In a hurry, yeah.
That'd be my suggestion, is try and meet first of all with the Lieutenant Governor and plant that seed with
Okay.
her before you actually met with the governor, but
Okay.
either one's fine.
Yeah, all right.
So the Navajo council, or representative, one of them is Nate Brown. The other one is Herman Daniels.
Council rep.
And from the office of the president, Mr. Davis Filford. And I was expecting those people to be up there. I guess the notice just stops at the border also.
Yeah. One where they weren't part of the county government.
Well, that's something that you can specifically request of UAC, Willie, is to have those people be invited and make a presentation.
Yeah.
Without you or Kenneth making that request, they probably didn't even consider it.
Yeah.
But you...
It has never been...
at a conference like that, if you want one of those representatives to come and make a presentation, all you have to do is ask Brandy and she'll make sure it happens.
Yeah. Of course, there's the, what did they call it? Tribal nation, state of Utah. All the 7 tribes that get
conference?
together. Yeah.
Yeah, they have that conference annually. Just 2 months ago, they had that conference up north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
None of those individuals were there.
No.
So we need to filter that, spread the news, invitation would be necessary. Okay, thank you. That's all my comments.
Okay, we need
Make
some
a motion to adjourn?
Is that, do we,
You need a second.
second? So, any question? There being none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. 0. Motion carries 2 in favor, 0 opposed. We stand adjourned at 12:41 p.m.